Today is Halloween, October 31st, 2019. So let's get down to something that may be a little scary, but it's the truth. So let's get it out there. Let's share it. This needs to be shared by everybody. Please bookmark the link, download this video, share it to everybody you know, ask them to share it. This is the truth. Let's get it out there right now. Nano aluminum. It makes nanothermite. Okay? Nanothermite or superthermite is a metastable intermolecular composite, MICs, characterized by its particle size of its main constituents, a metal and a metal oxide under 100 nanometers. This allows for high and customizable reaction rates. Nanothermites contain an oxidizer and a reducing agent, which are intimately mixed on the nanometer scale. MICs, including nanothermitic materials, are a type of reactive materials investigated for military use, as well as for general applications involving propellants, explosives, and pyrotechnics. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to watch this whole thing. This is going to blow your mind, okay? Trust me. What distinguishes MICs from traditional thermites is that the oxidizer and a reducing agent, normally iron oxide and aluminum, are in the form of extremely fine powders, nanoparticles. This dramatically increases the reactivity related to micrometer-sized powder thermite, as the mass transport mechanisms that slow down the burning rates of traditional thermites are not so important at these scales. The reaction proceeds much more quickly. Potential uses. Historically, pyrotechnic or explosive applications for traditional thermites have been limited due to their relatively slow energy release rates. Because nanothermites are created from reactant particles with proximities approaching the atomic scale, energy release rates are far greater. MICs or superthermites are generally developed for military use. Now keep this in mind, okay? Propellants, explosives, incendiary devices, and pyrotechnics. Research into military applications of nano-sized materials began in the early 1990s. Because of their highly increased reaction rate, nano-sized thermitic materials are being studied by the U.S. military with the aim of developing new types of bombs and several times more powerful than conventional explosives. Nanoenergetic materials can store more energy than conventional energetic materials and can be used in innovative ways to tailor the release of this energy. Thermobaric weapons are one potential application of nanoenergetic materials. There are many possible thermodynamically stable fuel oxidizer combinations. Some of them are, and here's a list of some, okay? In military research, aluminum, molybdenum oxide, aluminum Teflon, and aluminum copper oxide have received considerable attention. Other compositions tested were based on nanosized RDX and with thermoplastic elastomers. PTFE or other fluoropolymer can be used as a binder for the composition. Its reaction with the aluminum similar to magnesium Teflon Viton thermite adds energy to the reaction. Of the listed compositions, that with potassium permanganate has the highest pressurization rate. Production. A method for producing nanoscale or ultrafine grain UFG aluminum powders, a key component of most nanothermitic materials, is the dynamic gas phase condensation method, pioneered by Wayne Dannon and Steve Sun at Los Alamos National Laboratory. A variant of the method is being used at the Indian Head Division of the Naval Surface Warfare Center. The powders made by both processes are indistinguishable. A critical aspect of the production is the ability to produce particles of sizes in the tens of nanometer range, as well as with a limited distribution of particle sizes. In 2002, the production of nano-sized aluminum particles required considerable effort, and commercial sources for the material were limited. Current, don't know when, production levels are now beyond 100 kilogram a month. An application of the sol-gel method developed by Randall Simpson, Alexander Gash, and others at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory can be used to make the actual mixtures of nanostructured composite energetic materials. Depending on the process, MICs of different density can be produced. Highly porous and uniform products can be achieved by supercritical extraction. Okay, this is the part that I'm talking about here, okay? Pay close attention to this. As with all explosives, research into control yet simplicity has been a goal of research into nanoscale explosives. Some can be ignited with laser pulses. Now, I didn't make that up. You just read that yourself. MICs have been investigated as a possible replacement for lead stiffener, lead azide in percussion caps, and electric matches. Compositions based on whatever this is tend to be used. PETN may be optionally added. Aluminum powder can be added to nano-explosives. Aluminum has a relatively low combustion rate and a high enthalpy of combustion. The products of a thermite reaction resulting from ignition of the thermetic mixture are usually metal oxides and elemental metals. At the temperatures prevailing during the reaction, the products can be solid, liquid, or gaseous depending on the components of the mixture. Alright, so this is what I believe is happening, but maybe not so much. It doesn't have to be this. Okay, we could be using microwave over a wide area. So if you have several towers, such as Cell, NextRad, say 5G. 5G is everywhere. You can concentrate one area with microwave frequencies, waves, and you can excite the nano aluminum particles. Okay, like I said in a previous video, take a tiny piece of foil, stick it in the microwave, and you're going to see what happens. That is the same thing that we are seeing on video happen all over the place, not just California, but especially in California, but in other places as well, okay, including Baja California. I do believe that they are using microwave weapons and this aluminum, nano aluminum together to create these fires wherever they want them and to keep them from going out. Now this video and this information, I have a feeling, is probably going to get me shut down, and if it doesn't, it's going to be a miracle. But this is it. It's right here. So we'll just finish up with this last part. Hazards. Like conventional thermite, super thermite reacts at a very high temperature and is difficult to extinguish. Now, aren't the firefighters saying that they've never fought fires like this? They just won't go out. Well, imagine that. The reaction produces dangerous ultraviolet light. We are seeing the purple skies, people, requiring that the reaction not be viewed directly, or that special eye protection, for example, a welder's mask, be worn. Now, we may be talking about also the plasma that we're seeing. Okay. In addition, superthermites are very sensitive to electrostatic charges. Surrounding the metal oxide particles with carbon nanofibers may make nanothermites safer to handle. Now, this is a good possibility that before they started actually incinerating the ground, when they were testing it up higher in levels, like in the sky, for example, okay, the birds by the thousands dropping dead instantly. I think that is a test of what they're going to do to us on the ground. So they're directing these beams at a flock of birds, dropping them to the ground instantly, giving them instant brain damage. I mean, it takes what, a nanosecond to fry your brain? Your body might still function, but your brain will not. Therefore, what would you be called at that point? A zombie. So if they do this EMP so to speak, and fry everybody's brain, you're going to have a bunch of people walking around brain dead or rolling on the ground or just acting crazy. You're going to have a bunch of crazy people that are literally brain dead. There's your zombie outbreak. This can also happen, by electromagnetic fields, a plasma flash. There's many different ways that could happen, but a microwave pulse can fry your brain, or it could drop you dead instantly. But at higher levels and more concentrated, they can induce fires. They can do a lot more than just induce ground fires, trust me. You can also have reactions underground. You have to ask yourself, what have they been pumping into these fracking wells? Do we really know? Have they been pumping stuff into the ground, not only for their benefit to break up the shell and to extract the gases, but and the oil, but maybe they're also pumping something into the ground to make it more reactive to something they're planning on using in the near future. Maybe that's why the West Coast is glowing right now, red, the heat signature underground. People are reporting they're seeing actually magma coming up in places in California, just like they did last year. So if they're using these ELFs and microwave weapons and so on, and scalar technology, Tesla tech, they can heat up the ground under your feet. You wouldn't be the wiser. Therefore, you have magma flowing. You do it above ground, you have fires and all kinds of mysterious things happening. You can change the weather as well. Of course, we know they're controlling that too. So at this point, it appears they're controlling everything from underground to above ground to as far as you can go up. It's all controlled. It's all a dog and pony show, people. I think we're at the last chapter of this story. That's the way it's looking. Because they're not just doing it in one place. They're doing it apparently in almost every place. And this is only the beginning. They're not calling 2019 year zero for no reason. They're not trying to impeach POTUS for nothing. All these things are distractions from what they're doing to us. We're going to Mars. Take that M and flip it over upside down. We're not going to Mars. We're going to Mars with a W. That's what we're doing. But I think it's with us, all of us. The Georgia Guidestones. What's that say? What's the population prediction maps tell you? What does the military naval map show you of all the countries, including the United States, mostly underwater? It's showing us that they want to get rid of us. And I think that's what they are doing. So, here's what I found. I highly suggest that you share the link. You don't have to share the video, but you can share the link. It's very important. This needs to get out there. I don't know if we can stop it. In fact, if we talk about it and get it out there, it may speed it up. I really don't know. Thank you for your time. Be safe.